But if we take that theory that brands need to engage Gen Z without annoying their existing customers, diversification through collaboration is a great way of doing it. And I think it's because it's a lazy collaboration that wasn't very popular. Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I thought we could talk about luxury collaborations. I love a luxury collaboration, and I love that they are generally becoming a lot more frequent in this day and age compared to what they used to be. There's always quite a lot of hype and excitement around collaborations, some more than others. I'm sure some of you can think about some absolutely truly terrible ones and some that have actually been very, very good. And what I wanted to go through with you is some of my favourites, some of my least favourites. I want to talk about fundamentally, why do brands do collaborations? Because this is more than just fun. There is a deeper thing going on here, I think, as to why they've become so frequent as well. And we're not just going to be talking specifically about luxury. I also want to cover brands like H&M, who have done collaborations with the likes of Balmain before. And I remember that collaboration, I think that was back in 2015 now, but that collaboration just smashed it. I mean, you went on eBay, people have bought the stuff and were flipping it for like 2-3 times more than what it actually was if you were fortunate enough to have been able to get it. And I actually was the person that went onto eBay and spent the extra money being able to get what I wanted because it was all sold out. So luxury collaborations, they have become, as I've said, they've become a lot more frequent. If you go back 20 years, they were a lot rarer than they are now. And in fact, if you go back 20 years, one such collaboration that ended up being massive and very iconic and has lasted a lifetime really, was the Louis Vuitton by Murakami collaboration. Absolutely huge. And even before they brought that collaboration back just this year, how many of you, whether you liked that collaboration or not, because you know, I feel like that collaboration is very Y2K and not everyone's up for that, but however you felt about it, there's no denying that that collaboration has lasted the test of time. Even before there was rumour about them bringing it back, if you wanted to go and buy any of these pieces pre-loved, you were paying a premium for them, and you still are. And if anything, because the collaborations come back, if you want to buy any of the old or new pieces pre-loved, you're looking at paying a lot more money than you were, say, a year ago. I was reading an article about this, and there is definitely a thought that collaborations that do the best are the ones where the collaborator is given free rein. And going back to the Murakami collaboration, I really think that that is something that we're seeing in that it looks like Murakami has been given free rein to do what he wants to do. And I like that they are bringing back and resurrecting, in a way, pieces from the 2000s. They're not just necessarily taking the essence of what was there and making updated versions of it. I like that they're taking the modern shape bags that didn't exist 20 years ago, but they're putting that print on them. I like that. I like that they are doing that. When a collaboration is done well, it's more than taking two logos and slapping them on top of each other. When I think about going back to the Adidas by Gucci collaboration, I remember that, and it was literally a Gucci bag with the big Adidas logo stuck on the front of it, and it didn't feel advanced, it didn't really feel that creative, it just felt like a logo being stuck on another logo. And indeed, I remember going to Bicester Village, it must have been last year, you know, I think it was last year. That collaboration came out a while ago, and I have seen those Adidas pieces at Bicester Village time and time again. It's like they can't shift them. And I think it's because it's a lazy collaboration that wasn't very popular. I can see why they did it, and we are going to come on to this, why brands do collaborations in the first place. But I don't think it worked. So what do I think are some of the best designer collaborations that have gone on? I really like the collaborations that H&M do. I think they do them very well. I think that you can really tell with the H&M collaborations that they've taken the essence of H&M and the silhouettes and the outlines and the vibe of what H&M is, but they have given creative freedom to the collaborator. You can look at pieces in these collaborations and go, wow, that really looks like Balmain. I too could own a Balmain sweater and it's cost me £60 versus, you know, hundreds or even thousands of pounds if I go to the actual store, and the two things look very, very similar. And I think that's one thing that H&M do really well, is accessibility and affordable pricing. Their collaboration pieces are more expensive than their usual line, but everyone gets that, everyone knows that, and everyone's fine with that. And I just really like the way they do their collaborations. The other one that I quite liked, although it's not the kind of collaboration that I would have bought from, but I did like when Gucci collaborated with the North Face. Do you remember they had those puffer coats that came out? I remember there was like a green one I remember seeing, and I really liked the way that collaboration was done. I felt as though on those North Face puffer coats, the Gucci monogram really lent itself, really worked and really looked good. And I felt as though that collaboration felt a little bit more advanced than what they did with Adidas. So why do brands do these collaborations in the first place? Well, brands at the moment, they've got a little bit of an issue, a lot of brands. Between 2025 and 2027, it's estimated that luxury growth in sales is going to start declining. And that's after a couple of years of really intense growth, actually, where they've done very well. And there's like a whole multitude of reasons for this, and I'll link to a video below that I did speaking in great depth about that. But one of many problems that luxury brands have right now are Gen Z. You guys who are Gen Z might be watching this going, me, what did I do? So it turns out, by and large, generic, okay, I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but it is said in the press and in financial reports that I've read that apparently Gen Z, you guys aren't as into luxury as other generations are. You're snubbing it, you're turning your back on it, you're saying, I am not going to give you thousands of pounds of my hard-earned money for something that won't have cost you that much to make in the first place. You're not having my money, and you're going to homegrown brands. You're like, I've got to show you this bag really quickly. This is from a brand called Beyond the Vines. Yeah, Beyond the Vines. And it's the cutest little shoulder bag. All of them are made in Singapore. I bought this one, it's literally just turned up in the post. And I saw this, it comes in loads of different colours. I saw this in Singapore, really wanted it, didn't have any space in my suitcase, ordered it online, turned up, love it. And a lot of you in Singapore have told me that that is a brand that is popular with Gen Z over there because it's affordable. That bag was £58. But if we take that theory that brands need to engage Gen Z without annoying their existing customers, diversification through collaboration is a great way of doing it. Because, for example, if you think about the customer who would buy Adidas, that customer is chalk and cheese to the customer who would buy Gucci. Potentially, there will be some crossover in that customer base, but the two are different. And Adidas's customer base is going to be a lot younger than Gucci. You put those two together and you pull both of those customer bases into one. And for designer brands, this is a really good way where they can tap in to an audience that would never have possibly considered them before. They can tap into an audience that is probably younger, and they can get that crossover and start pulling in revenue from a different customer base. I feel as though, and I would love to get your thoughts on this, but I feel as though collaborations, say between H&M and designer brands, are more about accessibility. They're not trying to, H&M are not trying to get the Balmain customer to come over and shop from them. But I think that collaborations between high-end brands and more street style brands definitely are to do with revenue and diversification. If we also look at other collaborations, such as the Prada Cafe, which has collaborated with Harrods and has been there for a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, actually. And before that, there was the Dior Cafe. You go into these stores. I actually haven't been in because a lot of you have told me the Prada Cafe is grossly overrated. Let me know if that's true or false. But you can go in there and get some really beautiful cakes all logoed up with the Prada logo, but you very much know and feel like you're in Harrods when you eat in there. I like it when you get a collaborator that comes on board and injects a whole new level of excitement on a product you already liked. If you take the Louis Vuitton Speedy and you liked that bag in the brown monogram, and then Murakami comes along and jazzes it up. This isn't the Speedy, obviously, but this print. How does it make you feel? It makes you feel warm inside. No, I'm joking. But it does make you feel that there's something different there. There's something unique. There's something that you might not have considered that you might end up buying. But I would love to get your thoughts. Please leave your comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.